looks like we're live. Let me just quickly go ahead and test it on my phone and revalidate that. Wait, I wish I could see myself going live here. Yeah, looks like we are live for sure. Revalidate that. Wait, I wish I could see myself going live here. All right. So looks like we're working. We are live. So all right. So I just want to straight away get to the point and talk about something that recently happened with me once again. Okay. So if you have been following me since 2017, you must have kind of had insight in my history, and you must be aware that Amazon has kind of put my listing down many times in the past, and kind of for various reasons. Like once it was more I think more than once it was because of some documents that I had to resubmit again and again to Amazon, and in the past year it was because of a trademark issue, which again like wasn't my fault completely, and you can learn more about it by watching this video on my channel. But right now, as you see on the screen, I have basically opened up a screenshot which is dated on 2nd of January. So I had taken the screenshot on 2nd of January. So what happened was on the 2nd, I figured, basically on the 1st of January, I realized that I did not have any sales. My sales on that day, on the 1st of January, or basically 31st of December in the US time, was zero. So what happened was Amazon shut my listing one more time, and this time it was very surprising because I have already provided all the documents. I had fixed the trademark issue, which was the major issue that I had faced in 2019, and I was very surprised as to why did this happen. So at that time, I was actually not around my laptop and not even in the city. I was just trying to, have a good time on my New Year's. And when I discovered this problem, so I reached out to Amazon and kind of requested them to give me some more information over a call because I had only access to the internet on my phone. So I did that, and the agent could not figure at that very moment as to what was the reason. And basically, what he did was he just kind of refreshed the listing from the back end and asked me to wait another 15 to 24-hour window to kind of see if my product became active once again. Although the next day when I took the screenshot, it is on the 2nd of January. The next day when I had some time, I opened up my laptop and I kind of went inside my selection interval and kind of tried to figure this out myself because I had about 300 plus units, but my inventory started showing, the ASIN started showing as inactive. So the ASIN was available on Amazon.com, but it wasn't available to purchase, and that is the problem that I kind of faced uh, discovered when I logged into my Sales Central account. Now, while I did that, I also kind of reached out to Amazon over a call and kind of sought more insight and help in figuring out what happened. So while I was on the call with them, I kind of figured this out, and that my listing or my ASIN started to show up in the fixed stranded inventory tab, which is a bummer because once you see your listing there, you should be kind of alarmed and a bit scared at the same time, which is something that is very normal. So basically, what the reason that you see on the screen right now as well is that my product started to kind of show this particular reason that it is under HAZMAT review. So basically, Amazon right now is kind of reviewing all the products, and this happens on a yearly basis. You shouldn't be surprised for about that. So in case your product is eligible for a HAZMAT review, your product can sometimes get automatically flagged for a re-verification or a review or a re-review process for uh, your ASIN or your seller account, or basically all the ASINs in your seller account. So as soon as I saw this, I was pretty kind of shocked, because this is like a listing that I have been selling on Amazon since 2017, and for Amazon to ask me for the same kind of HAZMAT review in 2020 now was a bit shocking. But what I did then was, I while I was on the call, the seller agent or the seller support agent told me that I needed to provide them the SDS sheet or the exemption sheet once again. So I took some effort. I contacted my supplier once again for this product. Although I've been selling this product from a very long time, I always like to double check everything. So I contacted my supplier. I kind of went through the exemption sheet document along with them, and kind of got their confirmation on the fact that whether this product was dangerous in any manner or not. So even though I knew that the answer was no, and I knew what I had to fill in on my exemption sheet, I always like to kind of double check from the right resources. So I went back to my supplier and I kind of WeChat messaged them and sent them the exemption sheet and asked them to kind of help me figure out whether I was in any of the dangerous categories or not. So not to my surprise, they told me that hey, the product was not dangerous, and but I had to also but because my product had a magnet, okay, that product particularly has a magnetic part, a very small magnetic part, but when you are kind of filling out your exemption sheet, and I hope you've seen all of my HAZMAT videos wherein I kind of talk about how did I apply for the exemption, or how did I upload the exemption sheet and send it to Amazon for my latest product that I'm launching in January. So check those videos out if you're confused about what I'm talking about. So I kind of filled that up, and I had to kind of also provide the magnet's pull force. Okay, so every magnet has a pull force, so I had to kind of provide that information by asking my supplier, and that is when the expert advice comes into picture. So you have to kind of have your supplier. You have to always be working with a supplier who is kind of very knowledgeable and has some sense of uh, the specifications of the product. Okay, so my supplier knew what kind of magnet it had and what kind of pull force did it have. So all I had to do was kind of seek their information, and once that information was there with me, I kind of filled up the sheet and I uploaded it. And within 2 to 3 hours of me doing that action, my product was again active on Amazon. So I think they have a very different queue for the re-reviewing process, or the products that are under re-reviewal. I don't even know if that's a real word, but yeah, I think they have a priority queue for the products which are like selling on Amazon from a very long time, but in case they seek more information, they kind of review it on priority. That's what I kind of realized after the spontaneity in which my product became active as soon as I uploaded the exemption sheet. Because otherwise, once you are uploading an exemption sheet for a HAZMAT review, like for a product which is under HAZMAT review and which is a new listing, it is going to take up to 4 to 5 business days. But in this scenario, it only took about 2 hours, which was quite surprising because otherwise it really takes a long time. So yeah, that was it. That is what I wanted to kind of share with you guys, because this is something that keeps happening on Amazon. It is not something that you need to be really shocked or surprised about. You will kind of need to go through this time and again if you are selling on Amazon, and that is why I'm also kind of figuring out how do I kind of move the backbone of my business outside of Amazon. So if you are interested in something like that, if you want to know how can you build a future-proof private label business on and off Amazon, subscribe to Republic of Sellers and join the Republic of Sellers group. I will see you later.